joined here in the studio by Dan Bice, our Watchdog columnist, and joined from Madison by Patrick Marley, one of our state government reporters. And I want to start with Patrick. Can you give us a sense, Patrick, of where we've talked about WEDC before, and what's the latest here? We're hearing more about problems with companies that got these loans through the state.
Sure, WEDC was created in 2011, sort of the flagship of the governor and Republican legislators as a way to make the state more nimble in job creation, but it's been plagued by problems, and we're learning more about deals that were reached in the past. The most recent ones that we've learned of or learned the details of include one where a businessman was given $1 million, even though a judge months earlier had said in other deals that he'd worked on had the earmarks of fraud. And WEDC knew about that court proceeding and still gave the money. In another case, they didn't do the adequate checks that they were supposed to be doing, and problems emerged, and then they had to sue the companies to try to get their money back.
Okay, so some of the things that have emerged now are from lawsuits where the state is seeking the money back. Do we have any reason to believe, Dan, that these things that they've put in place are being effective in terms of preventing this from occurring?
Well, many of these are cases that came up early in the administration. But it is interesting. I'd written about one of these guys 15 years ago because he had done something very similar under Tommy Thompson. So it's not that this stuff is highly unusual. But the question, I mean, there are a couple of questions that have been raised by all of these stories. One is, will all of these problems reach a point where there should be some sort of investigation, not just the Legislative Audit Bureau, but an actual investigation? And it's not yet clear to me from the stories as to who was actually calling all the shots here. And actually a third question that comes to mind is it doesn't seem like the system as it existed had adequate checks on it. Right now, the head of the WEDC board is also the head of WMC, the lobby for the business community. So you have people with dual interests who are supposedly overseeing what's going on there.
Patrick, I mean, one of the changes this week was that the governor is no longer on the board. I mean, thanks to the legislation that went through. Does that help the governor, at least from a political sense, to distance himself from these problems, or is that, how does that play going forward?
Well, that's the hope. Certainly, it allows him to prevent board meetings from becoming sort of political sideshows. That's what he said he was worried about. But it's a little bit of a blow to him. I mean, he said he wanted it, but he had put himself as the head officer for that agency, and now he's taken himself off with his state budget. It maybe tamps down the politics a little bit, but this is his creation. He's running for president now. His opponents, both within the Republican Party and the Democrats, will likely use this stuff as the months proceed.
And he's absolutely right. I mean, it's still his agency, even if he's not on the board. If there's a major problem there, people aren't going to say now, oh, well, this isn't Scott Walker's agency.
He advanced it, he promoted it.
He promoted it, he did all of that stuff. So yeah, this falls right into his lap, and he needs to figure it out. I think an investigation is needed because this is taxpayer money, and it was supposed to be money used to create jobs. So
what you see is the agency so far has been run following the sort of perspective that Walker has on government and business. That is, he's highly skeptical of government,
right,
and yet he's very supportive of business. And that's a dangerous combination when you're trying to decide what sort of money you should be giving to private corporations.